slowly it becomes daylight. July the 7th, 2021, and we've just heard that the lockdowns are going to be eased in the country. And Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, says that we're now going to be going to learn to live with the coronavirus, and that it's not we're not going to have lockdowns or social distancing or any of that kind of thing anymore. So we're not going to, or masks or any of that, we're going to have to learn to live with it. So maybe we should have done that in March 21, when all the scaremongering took place, when all the media were instructed to go in a certain direction, and they did, because it's all propaganda, as we know. It's a fact to say that around 4 million people have died worldwide of the coronavirus. It's a fact to say that 4 million people from a population of nearly 8 billion people is a percentage of 0.05%. So that's 0.05% of the population of the world. Picture that, 0.05%. And we've had all these lockdowns and mask wearing, which was just a symbol anyway. Crashed the world economy more or less. I mean, at the moment it's only being pumped up by quantitative easing. So basically the powers that be are pumping money in the form of debt into the system. That won't last, so there's going to be a crash. When the crash comes, they'll blame it on coronavirus. Everyone will believe that, because let's face it, everyone believes anything they're told in the newspapers and on the news. So they'll believe that. They'll say, oh well, we've borrowed so much to keep people afloat because of the coronavirus that the economy's crashed. And the only way to save it, they will say, is with the Great Reset, which Klaus Schwab has talked about endlessly. He being the leader of the World Economic Forum. So the Great Reset will be introduced, I would imagine, around September, October. It'll start with the rise in cases again. Someone said recently this is a case-demic, because people aren't actually dying so much as the cases are going up. But remember, you never hear of flu anymore, and a lot of the lung-related ailments have been shoveled into this one ailment called coronavirus. You never hear of anyone having flu these days, or pleurisy, or asthma, or all the lung diseases, bronchitis or pneumonia, just those off the top of my head. Everyone's suddenly got COVID. So, but it's also a fact to say that there's a 99.74% recovery rate. So it's killed 0.05% of people, and they are probably other related lung illnesses. And remember, the average age of death is 82. Okay, people at 82 die anyway. So you've got other related lung disorders all being shoveled into the category of COVID. You've got 0.05% of people dying, the average age of death being 82, and you've got a 99.74% chance of recovery. So, Klaus Schwab's latest book is called The Great Reset. It's called COVID-19, The Great Reset. That's his book. And you can read in there the plans for the world which are coming up, which will involve the so-called Great Reset. It won't be great for most people. It'll be great for businesses like Amazon, Google, Facebook, all the huge conglomerates. And for most people it won't be so great. It'll involve a digitised economy, social crediting system, universal basic income, and basically a Chinese style modern communism system, which we're all going to have to learn to live with, unless there's some sort of massive change, massive turnaround. Now, that won't happen because, like I say, most people believe everything they hear on the news and on the television, particularly on television news. They all believe it. That television news itself is propaganda. But it's credible, it's presented in a credible way, so most people believe it, because not to believe it causes within them a feeling of discomfort known as cognitive dissonance. So they can't abide that the news might be telling them a crock of shit. So it's easier to believe a comfortable lie than to live with an uncomfortable truth. But a lot of people are waking up. Some people with a brain switched on are waking up, and there have been a lot of reactions to the vaccine. So we'll see how that goes, and it's making some people think twice about it and how things are going. So, what's going to happen next? So, July the 19th this year, 2021, is supposed to be the great unlock. And in Britain, you know, they've said no more social distancing, no more masks, no more of that. That will mean that we'll get through summer. So July, the end of July will be okay, August will be okay, and halfway through September will be okay. Then there'll be a massive shift as the nights grow darker and the days become colder. People will start to get colds and flu, and they'll call it coronavirus, and people will start to die again. And they'll say that that's because we didn't lock down during summer, so the cases have gone up. Like what's happening now in Spain, that's what they're saying to people now. So it'll become a case-demic again towards the end of September. Then they'll probably announce the Great Reset around that time, which will see a huge shift in things. This is coming. It might be next year, but it'll probably be towards the end of this year. I don't know when it'll be, but it's going to happen unless something radical occurs. So that's what will happen. That's the next thing. The cases will go up, and then they'll do some more lockdowns, probably in October. More of that bullshit that we had last year. So I'm sorry this isn't good news today, and I'm not the news anyway. I'm not being fed from above with a load of bullshit to tell you. I'm just talking about what I see and what I know, and most of the statistics that I've mentioned here on this video today are from the World Economic Forum itself. The Klaus Schwab book. He's basically one of the world leaders, an unelected world leader, and you will see all these things happening. It's going to be shocking.